Oh, yeah! You know what time it is. That's right, it's time for the Eddie and Webby podcast! Yo, I'ma bust out some theme song action for you. Check it out. The Eddie and Webby show is the place to be. They're talking about beer and pickleball and technology. So if you didn't know, now you know. 'Cause it's time for the Eddie and Webby show.
On today's episode, Eddie and Webby give each other the silence treatment. This is the Eddie and Webby podcast.
Hey Webby, that was a great match you had against Lauren and Kyle of the No Smoke Pickleball show, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty disappointed that you didn't beat them. I know, I'm sorry for letting you down. Oh, hey, how's it going? This is Webby, not Eddie.
And I'm Eddie, and this is our 56th podcast.
Oh yeah, episode number 56.
I can't believe it. Last one was 55. The next one will be 57. So that means that this is 56.
Yeah, I think that is how numbers work. I think you're right.
I passed math class, thankfully. We have an awesome episode for you guys today. Super excited about it. We have guests that are live in the Eddie and Webby studio here in Naples, Florida.
Yes, that's awesome.
That's right. I'm very excited to be able to bring them on here shortly. Guys, this is meant to be interactive because we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And we are live on Twitch for the two people that care. It's two people now, not just one. Two people actually care.
That's like double the amount that used to care on Twitch.
I know.
That's awesome.
And if it keeps doubling, we're going to finally get to 8 eventually. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, we have an incredible show for you guys. Two guests.
We do.
Live in studio. We're not going to bring them on just yet, though, because there's a couple things we want to tell you about. What's the first thing we should tell them about, Webby?
One thing I think we should tell them about is how they can get awesome Eddie and Webby merch.
That's right. Today's show is sponsored by us, the Eddie and Webby store. You can go to eddieandwebby.com and you can use coupon code PICKLE10 for 10% off your order, and you can get shirts like the one I'm wearing here, the Dink shirt.
Very nice.
Yeah. Are
you
you
also
representing?
get things? Yeah, you can get things like hoodies, and not only hoodies, but Pickleball for Life t-shirts. I mean, man, it's got everything you could possibly think of.
That's right. Help support the Eddie and Webby 2020 tour, and yeah, go check it out. It's good stuff. Good quality merch.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So we want to bring our guests on here shortly, but before we do that, there's a couple things, and another one. Webby, what's going on in Twitter?
Yes, Twitter. Good old Twitter. Let me see what is going on the Twitter sphere here today. Here is a comment from Kelly K. Powski. Eddie and Webby, I thoroughly enjoyed episode 55 with Corinne Carr on it. She seems like such a nice and interesting person. Great interview. Nice.
I agree, Kelly.
Great message.
That was a
Thank
great
you.
interview.
Yeah, she was very super nice, awesome guest, and I liked it a lot. Thanks for the comment. Let's do another comment here on Twitter. Here is one from Lauren McMuffin with cheese. Eddie and Webby, wow, even with a great player like Maggie on his team, Webby still managed to blow it in the match against the No Smoke Show peeps. What a pathetic loser.
Yikes.
Come on.
Lauren is mean, isn't she?
She is mean.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that, I guess. I mean, that was not nice, but
not nice.
Whatever. It was a good match. Come on. It was close. It wasn't like a blowout or anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's do one more comment here on Twitter. This one is from Jim Carey Fisher. Eddie and Webby, you have both gotten noticeably better with your pickleball playing skills this past year. Keep up the great work, and maybe you'll be able to score more points against Kyle Yates next year.
You mean more
Nice.
than 4?
Well, thank you, Jim Carrey Fisher. That's very nice of you. And yeah, I do think we both have improved immensely this past year.
I agree. I feel good about that.
Yeah. You know what? That, that one comment from Lauren McMuffin, it's still kind of bothering me. The one about the how I'm a pathetic loser because I lost to Lauren and Kyle. I mean, they were great players. That was a great match, and it could have gone either way. And it was such a fun match. So congratulations, Lauren and Kyle. You were victorious. You went home with the Midwest Mafia microphone trophy. And there was actually one excellent rally during that match that I'd love to play a clip of because it was just so fast paced and good. And if you don't mind playing that clip, I'd say now is a good time to roll it. Whoops. Actually, that was not from the match. That was not from our match. That did happen during the same Dink for Pink event, but that's when Lauren and Kyle played somebody else, and Kyle got body bagged. Sorry about that. That was not the clip I meant to play.
Yeah, I think I loaded it incorrectly.
Mistake.
Sorry.
Are you able to play it one more time? I thought that was like really cool.
Yeah, I can do that. Here, let's try that. Yeah.
Again, not from our match, but I that was pretty hilarious. That was funny. But I think we can just move along. We can move on from here.
Okay. Well, that was good stuff there. Yeah, that stare down still cracks me up. But anyway, I think it's time to bring on our guest. What do you think?
Yes, I would love to get to our guests because it's going to be very exciting. Can't wait.
All right, well, let's do it. And do I have an introduction prepared to bring them on here? You guys are going to be blown away by this. We have two guests tonight live in the Eddie and Webby Naples studio because this is the Naples studio, and Webby is live from the Michigan studio. They're both incredible pickleball players. They're both incredible tennis players. They are both Michigan State alumni. Go Spartans. They are both now living here in Naples, and both are teaching pickleball as well. And I would like to welcome Catherine Parenteau and Athena Trouillot. What's going on, guys?
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Hey.
We're so excited to be here.
We're super excited to have you guys. That's so cool. You guys are living in Naples now. What do you think about living in Naples so far?
It's awesome. We really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a great place. A lot of pickleball going on too. Great people. So we're really enjoying it so far.
Yeah. And have you heard about the 9:30 p.m. curfew in the city of Naples yet?
We noticed that.
Yeah.
We rush sometimes because we're getting dinner very late, and we at the last minute realize that we're in Naples again, and it's like 9:20, and we have to rush somewhere really close to the apartment in order to find some food. We're not cooking yet. We need to get to that point so we can eat at whatever time.
Yeah, otherwise we are stuck with McDonald's.
Yeah, seriously, the whole city shuts down. Like 10 p.m., ghost town.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Well, that's cool. Well, we're excited to have you. On behalf of the city of Naples, welcome. I've lived here for 5 years now, and I am not going back to Michigan, so I'm here for good. We have a lot of really cool stuff that we want to be able to cover tonight. But before we do any of that, as you know, Webby and I typically like to participate in enjoying a nice, tasty beverage. And we thought, why not include you guys in this? So what do you guys think? You up for it?
Yeah,
For sure. Absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, Webby, I'm going to bring you back on here. And do you want to share with everybody what you're going to be drinking tonight?
Why, yes. Don't mind if I do. So this is something new that I've never seen before, and it is from Perrin Brewing Company. And check this out. It's like a little 3-pack. Like you get 3 options. It's in this case. It is the Perrin Brewing Company Winter Warmer, and it includes the Blonde Porter, the Black Ale, which I'm a huge fan of, and then something that I've never had before. It is the Coffee Latte, and that's what I'm going to be drinking. is the Coffee Latte Brown Ale. Got it right here. And I kind of cheated. I tried it before the show, and oh my God, this is delicious. It's described as a full-bodied brown ale with coffee, light chocolate notes, and rich roasted aromatics with added milk sugar for a creamy
Wow.
malt finish. And man, if you like coffee, this thing is delicious.
Does it actually have caffeine?
I do believe
Oh.
it does have some.
Nice.
I'm not sure how much, but I do believe it does have a little bit.
The only beer from there in that 3-pack that I've had is the Perrin Black, so that's cool, man. That's a nice little 3-pack you got there.
Yeah, I'm really liking it. And then this beer, I'm telling you, this is like one of my new favorites. I had it for the first time just a couple days ago, and it is a good.
Wait, you guys were at the Beer City Open, right?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy any Perrin while you were there?
No, we
No.
did not even. I don't think I had one beer at in Grand Rapids. So no, we didn't go to any. But next summer for sure. I don't think Athena, you were not there this year.
No, I wasn't able to go to Beer City.
Oh.
This has been 2 years in a row.
Yes, that's right.
Where I've signed up for this tournament and something came up at the last minute and I had to
Oh,
message
man.
Andrea Coop and tell her that I couldn't come. So
Oh, bummer.
disappointed. So every time I see her, she makes a joke and she's like, "Third time's a charm." Every time I see her, hopefully I'm gonna be able to make it to Beer City. I hear it's a great tournament.
So much
I'd
fun.
love to be
Yes.
there. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Webby
Speaking
and
of
I are
Beer
going to be
City,
there for sure. Yeah.
Speaking of Beer
Awesome.
City, using my Beer City glass that we got this year, part of the swag
Yep.
bag from this year. But yeah, I love that tournament. Love it.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. And there's a lot of great breweries there, too. We did our live stream from Perrin Brewing Company there.
Yeah,
at
it
the
was
pre
That's
great.
party.
right.
Yeah.
I saw it. Yep.
Yeah.
You had like Michelle Esquivel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had they just, honestly,
Rob.
they just took over our podcast. At one point, Webby and I were both gone, and they were just talking. So
Yeah.
it was funny.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I did a little digging, and I wanted to make sure that we had some beverages for you guys that made you feel right at home. And Catherine, I'm going to start with you. I know that you're a French Canadian, and by the way, I am half French Canadian. Seriously,
Wow.
my
Interesting.
mother
I
was
didn't know that.
yeah, my mom was born in Toronto, and she did her DNA test, and yeah, she's primarily French Canadian. So we have that in
Nice.
common, which is cool. So I know you're more of a wine drinker than a beer drinker.
Yes.
And so I found the most French-sounding wine I could possibly find out of France for you here. Let me grab it.
That's awesome.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. I will let you do the honors here. Let me pass it over to you.
Thank you. Let me see. Mouton Cadet.
Hmm.
Nice.
Can you
First
say that
word.
again?
Mouton Cadet.
Mouton Cadet.
That's not
That's
bad.
pretty good.
Yeah,
that's
see,
really
it's
good.
the half French Canadian in me.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Awesome.
Nice work.
There you go. I hope you enjoy that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know how it is. And then Athena, I did some digging. We have a whole team of researchers, by the way, that dig through everybody's past, right? So don't worry, we're only going to talk about the good stuff. You're originally from Miami,
This is true.
and there's a couple of craft breweries actually in the Miami area, which are pretty good. And so I have 2 beers, and you actually get to pick from one, and I'm going to drink the opposite. And these are from MIA Beer Company. We have the Miami Vice, which I'm assuming is going to be a wheat beer, Hefeweizen style. And then also from MIA Brewing Company, we have the Mega Mix, which is a pale ale. And you get to
Nice.
have your choice. Do you like Hefeweizens, or do you like more little hoppy pale ale type of beer?
I'm gonna go with the Miami Vice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here,
It's the best looking
I'll pass it over to you.
looking bottle too.
Thank
I mean,
you.
not bottle, but
The can?
yeah, the can.
Yeah, that's the one thing I always notice about the MIA Brewing Company is that their cans are. I mean, it looks very Miami to me. I don't know about
Yeah,
you
it
guys.
does.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you would
Yeah.
know better than anybody, Athena. How it?
There's actually a building in downtown Miami that just looks like that. Remember?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a
that's
dancer
true.
and same
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah.
The Art Deco style is that
Yeah,
what it's called?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, Wynwood.
Nice.
It's all over Wynwood.
Really?
Which is also in Miami. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Well, good. Well,
And,
cheers.
Vic-
We also
Yeah,
like
cheers.
to get our guests nice and loosened up, so that way we can get the good stuff out of them.
So that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
real reason this is happening.
Yeah, that's right. But we always drink responsibly out there. You guys know that we're
Yes.
very responsible with our alcohol consumption. I feel like I have to say that. So cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And Victor's watching. Victor says Kath and Athena are the best. Is it safe to say that you know Victor? Victor Parenteau
Yes.
Saint Antoine? Did I say that
Nice.
right?
That was pretty good. Yeah, that's my little brother. He's actually
Nice.
in Montreal right now, and I guess he's watching. So that's awesome. Hi, Vic.
Got the family
Thanks
in
for
on it.
watching,
Love it.
Victor. And then Deckel Bar is tuning in. He says, "What a crew!"
Deco, we love Deco.
Yes, he's so nice.
Yeah, Deckel's cool.
Deco's great. Great player, great person.
Yes.
This beer is actually delicious.
Is it?
How's your beer, Eddie?
That's dangerous.
I am liking it a lot.
It's good,
Yeah.
right? MIA, look at that.
Mm-hmm. Next time I'm in Miami, I'll definitely have to check it out. Because that is good. Sounds like
I feel
yours
like
is
I
good.
have to try it now.
You should
Okay,
try
go
it.
ahead.
Yeah, drink it up.
And seriously, if you like
How's your
coffee, this
wine?
this coffee latte has like it's such a huge aroma of coffee. I love it.
That's really good.
It's good, right?
I'm not a beer,
Yeah.
person, but that's pretty good. And my wine is really good.
Is it?
Yes,
Do you,
good pick.
do you like Bordeaux? Is that?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I honestly, I just looked for the most French sounding one I could possibly find. So. Love it. Anything else going on in social media there, Webby? Before we get deep into the minds of Catherine and Athena here.
Yeah, we got Brian Rogers. He says, "We look forward to seeing you back in Michigan."
We love
Definitely.
Brian. Brian is a part of
Oh,
our
yeah.
Paddletek family.
Yeah.
Yes. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. I met him at the Great Lakes Regionals this year. Very nice guy.
He's awesome.
We can't wait to be back too. We love Michigan. It's just always good to go back and just see everyone. I mean, I started teaching there.
Yeah.
And then I see my clients every year, every summer. So it's awesome to go back. Feels good to see them, and I see how good they get every time, how they improve. So it's awesome.
Especially during the months of May through October.
Yes.
I knew you were gonna
100%.
have that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm with
I can't
you.
deny that. That is very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
But just a couple more things here on social media. We got Andre Paul saying cheers with a Genesee Schwartz beer.
Nice. Good beer.
Enjoying a tasty drink as well.
And then last but not least for now, we got Barb Taylor. Hi, Catherine and Athena. Barb here from, it was actually 3 Canadian flags, but it says,
I was like,
but,
That's awesome.
yeah, it was
So
supposed to be
funny.
3 Canadian flags.
I thought that was like an inside joke between you and her. I wasn't sure exactly what was going on. I was,
That's hilarious.
Hi,
Hi,
Barb.
Barb.
Yeah. Barb from Kakaka.
That's a new nickname for Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. God, I remember. So, growing up in Detroit, when you turn 19, Canada is where we used to go like every weekend because you could legally drink there, and
Yes.
that was always our thing to do. But that was pre 9/11. I don't want to age myself here, but that was pre 9/11, so you could go there with just your driver's license, and then after 9/11, then they either had to have a passport, and so that kind of stopped a little bit. But man, we used to go to Windsor all the time back when we were 19 and 20 years old.
Nice.
Yeah.
And super close. A 2-hour drive?
Oh, from where I was at, it was only like 35 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Literally right across the bridge. We would go there, and yeah,
Nice.
I think we would park at the casino and then walk to Ouellette Street where all the bars were and hang out there. So that was
Cool.
good
Isn't
time.
there a big mall in that area too, like an outlet or something?
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I used to literally just go there and go to the casino and the bars. So
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like some of the girls on the team, when we were at Michigan State,
yeah.
used to make the drive
Mm-hmm.
to go to some outlets that had like incredible deals on clothes.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
I'm
used
sure.
to do it all the time.
Yeah, and that obviously, yeah, coming from East Lansing there, it was probably 2 hours to be
Yeah.
able to get across the border. So
Yeah.
when you're 19, you want to go drink at a bar. That's what people will do, right? That's cool. Well, super excited. We have so many questions we want to talk to you guys about. Tonight. And obviously, I think we should start with the question. And this is to both of you, or either of you, I should say. And that's really just, how did you guys get into pickleball?
You want to start or I go first? I guess
Um,
it makes more sense if we start with me.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So you can only compete for 4 years. And so I stayed an extra year. So on my 5th year, I was not eligible to play anymore as part of the team. So Simone said, well, you can be part of the coaching staff. So I was part of the coaching staff, still training with the girls, just felt like I was still on the team, except that I was coaching. So I would hit with the girls and just help Simone out whenever she needed me. And so in the fall, it was not that bad. I mean, there was probably, you played 3 tournaments in the fall usually? We played 3 tournaments.
3 or 4.
And usually when one season when it's season, it's probably we play every weekend. So it was not that bad, meaning like I didn't miss competing that much. But once that season time, hit, that's when Simone could tell I was a little, not bored, but kind of, missing competing. So when she just asked me randomly one night, I can't remember where we were, but we were in the street, and she said, Catherine, why don't you come play pickleball? And so she explained to me a little bit like how it's being played and everything. And I'm like, I was not really interested because I thought maybe, it's just something that I'm going to play on the side for fun, but it's not really going to be competition.
So you were like, tennis is my thing. So it's like, why would I mess with that?
Right. Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
So it took me a few weeks until she brought it up again. She said, okay, like I have a league going on and you can actually compete. Like there are tournaments out there. There's a website, pickleballtournaments.com, where you can actually go out there and compete. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. So I gave it a try and I really fell in love with it right away. So that's really how I got into it.
And how many years ago was this?
That was 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
And then
so for anybody who doesn't know, Catherine and I met at Michigan State because we played on the tennis team there. So we both had full scholarships to play on the tennis team at Michigan State, and that's where we met. And we happened to have a head coach at Michigan State who goes by the name of Simone Jardim.
Who?
Right,
I've
exactly.
never
Nobody
heard of
knows who
yeah,
she is.
I'm not so sure who she is either.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, doesn't ring a bell.
Right, exactly. So she was our coach, and Catherine was 2 years older than me in school. She's a year older than me. Catherine's 25, and I'm 24. But when I was a freshman, Catherine was a junior in college. And so when Catherine had started playing pickleball, this was her 5th year in school. So at this point, I was still a junior in college. So when Catherine started playing pickleball, I couldn't really play because I was in school.
Right.
And I was playing on a tennis team, and I had no time for anything else. So that's why I started playing later than Catherine did. So Catherine started playing, so your 5th year must have been, what year is that? 2015. Yep 2015. And then 2 years later, in 2017, I graduated from Michigan State, and that summer is when I started playing pickleball.
Okay.
And I got into it because Catherine by that time had already played at her first U.S. Open.
Right.
Yep. And she played with Brian Ashworth. She did really well. And after that tournament, I think is kind of when she got hooked. She flew down to Naples, was able to compete again, and I mean, you could just tell when she was on the team that she had this void that she needed to fill.
Yeah.
So it was great to kind of be able to see her compete again because she's really passionate about competing and sports in general. So that was great to see. And then when I started playing, it was great because it was something that we could do together, And then I happened to end up loving the sport as well. So it worked out really well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you guys both had some successes at Michigan State, it seems like, right?
A couple.
A couple, yeah.
Yes.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
So for me, I broke a couple of records there, which is pretty cool. So I broke the record for overall most wins in Michigan State women's tennis history, which is pretty good. So that's the combination of singles and doubles wins.
Okay, all right.
And then I broke the record for most singles wins of all time in Michigan State women's tennis history. And then I was 2 away from breaking the record for doubles.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't break it. I would have had the trifecta.
Yeah.
and I was 2 away. But that's I'm
That's
still
pretty good.
I still
Yeah.
hold the record, so that's pretty cool.
Isn't there something hanging in
Yep.
there with you?
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
is
yeah.
on a
Yep.
banner.
Where? Because next time I go, I wanna check it out. Where is it
Yep.
at?
It's in the where the tennis courts are, indoor tennis courts.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
the name of the place?
Um,
I lost her.
that's a good question.
Oh my gosh, I
does
can't
it-
believe we can't remember.
I
Or
I
maybe
don't-
it's just MSU
Yeah, MSU
facility
indoor
or
facility. Yeah,
Okay.
tennis facility.
indoor tennis facility. Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a hunt for it,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna look at it and be like, I know her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
That is
Yeah.
really cool.
As a team, we also we got the highest ranking, which was, and maybe you can correct me, but I think it's 38 or 36.
Yeah, I think it was
So
around there. Yeah.
Once we were born on the team, we
senior year.
my senior year we got up to 36, which was a record.
Okay. And that was from you guys playing together, or
As a team.
as
As
just
a
as a
team,
team.
yes, as a team.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you did play doubles together, didn't you?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we did.
For a year. Yeah.
So that was probably the same. No, it was not the same year. It was the year after
Yeah.
that we broke the record.
Okay.
That's a funny story, actually.
Yeah.
It
Let's hear about this
is.
here.
Oh, jeez.
So, my freshman year, Catherine and I, in the fall of my freshman year, Catherine and I were actually not very close.
Okay.
Not that we disliked each other or anything, but, there were, cliques.
Right.
Like certain people were friends with each other on the team. And Catherine and I were not part of the same cliques on the team.
Okay.
There's like 14 girls. I
Right.
mean, you know how it is, 14 girls. They were all like 18 to 20. It's disaster. But
Disaster.
I like that. Yeah. Disaster.
yeah. So January came around, and Simoni and Tyler was the assistant coach at the time.
Yeah.
They told us that Catherine and I were playing doubles together, and we were like, oh no.
Can't do that.
We don't want to play doubles together. I want to play with this person who's my friend.
Right.
And Simoni was like, that's not how it works. You guys are the best pair that we have right now, so you guys are going to play together or
Make
you're
it
out of
work.
the lineup. We were like, oh, right. Then I guess we're playing together.
All right.
So that's how it happened. And it worked out really well. I think we had maybe like an 8-3 record in the Big
Yeah,
Ten
we did really
conference,
well together.
which was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good.
That's a tough conference.
It is.
Yeah.
Michigan is very good. Ohio State, Northwestern, they're probably all top 15, top 20 in the country.
Mhm.
So there were some pretty good teams there.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think that was a good decision. It was not our decision, right? But the fact that Simoni decided to make us a doubles team, otherwise I don't think we would have had this kind of friendship,
Right.
and
Yeah.
even better. So
Yeah.
we're fortunate for that.
That's cool. So she saw something and was like, you guys got to play
Yeah.
together.
I guess so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to become friends after you started playing together?
It was quick
Yeah.
because the way it was working with Simoni, she would room the players, the doubles teams together. So we
Mm.
just got to know each other really well. We would just talk, and we became really close friends. So it worked out really well.
Okay. That's like, were there things that you guys were able to stylistically come together on the tennis court that worked really well? Was it the chemistry? Like, being new to racket sports, what is it that really makes a good, strong pair or doubles pair out on the court?
So I think what they saw in us as a doubles pair was Catherine was really well known for having great returns. So she had really solid, deep, hard returns. And I had really good hands at the net. I was really good at the net. And so when Catherine was returning or serving, I would always be at the net. And so she was in a perfect position to set me up
Okay.
at the net. So I think, and I'd be interested to ask them actually now that all this time has gone by why they did that pairing. But I think that's part of the reason why we meshed so well was because Catherine could set me up at the net. And that's kind of what doubles is about.
Right.
Like you gotta have at least one of you that's good at the net to finish points, because most of the time the points are not really finished from the baseline, they're finished from the net.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they saw in our games.
And
Okay.
also our serve, we had pretty good slicing serve. I got an injury my sophomore year. So I used to serve really a lot harder.
Okay.
And then by my senior year, I was just kind of like slicing them or like trying to do a kick, right?
A kick serve.
A kick serve. So I was trying to set Athena up at the net because she's really good at the net. So I had a good slice wide serve, and then so that was a good combination.
What's a kick serve?
A kick serve is like the maybe you can explain it better than I can.
So a kick serve is a serve that bounces and jumps.
Okay.
Up.
All right.
Yeah.
So it kicks.
Yeah, it
Gotcha.
kicks,
Kicks up,
exactly.
yeah,
So once
exactly,
it
yeah.
hits the ground, it just kind of takes
Which
quick
forces
little.
the player, your opponent, to make contact with the ball above their shoulders, which is
Very
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Normally, you want to make contact kind of in between your waist and your shoulders.
Okay.
Which is kind of your strike zone. But if you're making contact above your shoulders, then you probably are not going to be able to be aggressive on that ball.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I didn't know it had a name, but I've been the victim of that
Oh,
serve before.
The kick serve. Yeah. Have you?
Yeah, I have. Now
Well,
I know
maybe
it's got a name.
We're
Yeah.
gonna do some kick serve on you, Webby. Next time, if we ever go out there and play tennis.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Webby, what's going on social media, man?
Oh man, there's a lot coming in. I'm telling you, this is some of the
Ooh.
most social media interaction we've had in a while. Let's just get to a couple things here. Here's one from Orlena Sauer. She says, "Looking forward to
Awesome.
lessons with you in Bonita Springs."
Exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very nice.
We haven't talked really about that, but we both are working for Simoni. Maybe some people know about me, but Athena just recently also started. So she's there once a day. Once a day.
Once a day.
once a week. And so that's awesome. We're both working for Simoni in Bonita Springs. So we look forward to seeing you.
Very nice. Andre Paul left another message. He said, "Come to Pickleball Island. It's right across the bridge from Canada." Do you know what he's referring
Nice.
to?
Maybe we could add that as part of one of our
Yeah,
clinics this
our
summer
schedule.
or something, our schedule.
Yeah.
We're gonna be, I'm sure we're gonna be really close to I'm gonna be in Canada. We're gonna be in Canada. In Michigan
Hmm.
as well. So in July. So that's something we're gonna look into.
But there's only 3 main bridges. There's areas where there's bridges. There's Port Huron,
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, and then Buffalo, New York, or Niagara Falls. So which of those is Andre talking about?
Pickleball Island.
Yeah.
It's right across the bridge.
Yeah,
Hmm.
let us know, Andre, if you're still
Yeah.
listening.
Which
We
one?
would love to know.
Pickleball Island sounds incredible.
It does.
It
It
does.
sounds like
Island.
A pickleball island. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. It sounds like
Sounds
where I want to live.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds amazing. So Tammy is tuning in. She's actually got a couple things she wants to say. First off, hello. I really enjoy watching you both play pickleball. Hopefully one day I will be able to meet you. And then this this next part is pretty funny here. She says, also, can you have Catherine say
Oh
"Hooray" for us?"
my god. It comes All right. Oh really?
Wow.
So,
You
I
should
guess-
have
what's
put
the
like
story
a
with
drum
that?
roll right before it.
Oh my god.
what's the story with that? Because I noticed that Ben Johns asked you to say "Oh really" during the
Yeah.
No Smoke
Yeah.
Pickleball show earlier this
Oh
week
my
too.
goodness.
Yeah.
So I was a thing, I guess my first ever pickleball, I mean, when I played at US Open with Brian, I guess whenever they say something, instead of saying like, or I just kind of say, oh, really? Like asking a question, and it just comes into my mind. And I guess the way I say it with my accent is funny. So they just, every time I see them, I see Ben, Kyle, or like Brian, they always say, oh, can you say, oh, really for us? And then they don't even say that. They just say, oh, really? And then they want and then like, Catherine, just say it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll say it. Or really? And then they just think it's funny.
Nice.
That's great.
That is funny. Shelton is tuning in, and he wants to know who's better at blackjack with a winky face.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's
we
a
played a
very
lot
good
of
one.
blackjack in Vegas when we went to play the Vegas Open. That's a good question because we're pretty beginners. So, I would say Athena plays a little bit more than me and Shelton. So I will go with Athena.
I
All
know
right.
nothing about blackjack. Absolutely nothing. I just think
I-
it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I actually made more money than you. Remember?
That is a true
That's
statement.
true. And I
Yep.
didn't know what I was doing, but I actually ended up winning some money. So I was happy about that.
I think that you are a lot luckier than me in so many things.
Oh gosh.
It
Don't even
always
get me started
happens
with that.
in every scenario. Whenever you're with me, it works out in our favor. And whenever I'm by myself, it goes against me. Every time.
I'm your lucky charm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah, there we go.
It must be it.
Nice.
I like it.
All right, we just got a couple more things I want to get to, and then I'll turn it back over to Eddie. We've got Glenn Lucy tuning in, and he says, "Hey, Athena, your singles record makes me wonder
Ooh.
if you're going to play singles."
Great question.
That is a good one, Glenn. And the answer is yes. The answer
Ooh.
is yes. I am going to play singles. Catherine will tell you I'm extremely competitive, and I don't like to do something if I'm not prepared for it. And so, to be honest, I haven't practiced any singles ever. I should. But recently, Catherine and I actually hired a personal trainer. Because what we're realizing is there's so many new players coming into the pickleball game that it used to be like, you know, you could have a full-time job and you would go on the weekends and you would play these tournaments and you could do pretty well because there weren't as many people on the scene as there are now. You know, now you got the Waters, you got Jesse, you got the Newmans. I mean, there's so many new players that are incredible players, and it's just getting to the point where, you know, now there has to be other types of training that come in.
Yes.
You can't just show up on the weekend, not practice, not train, and then just expect to do well. So when we moved here, actually, we hired a personal trainer. So we've been working out for, what, about 2 months now?
About 2
Yeah,
months. And
about
we
2
already
months.
see, you know, whenever we play, we feel a lot better. Whenever
Yeah.
we teach as well, we're not as tired
Yeah.
at night. So that's what we really need to, we've been working on. Because like Athena said, there are so many great players come into the game that we cannot just, you know, have our full-time job and just expect to do well
Right.
on the weekends when we play tournaments.
Yeah. So we work out at least 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
a week, and we practice. We try to practice at least twice a week if there's not a tournament coming up soon, and when there is a tournament, we try to practice at least 3 or 4 times a week. In addition, you know, to all the teaching that we do.
Which teaching is good too. I mean, if we have a good week, meaning
Right.
30 to 40 hours, and you have some decent players, meaning like 4.0s, 4.5s, that's, you're basically training yourself. You know, I mean, I always say to my clients that it doesn't matter if you're 2.5, 3.0, 3.5, you get to hit the ball. And that's what, I mean, we're out there 30 to 40 hours. That's a lot better than what we used to do 2 years ago when
Right.
we had a more of a, not really a
A
permanent,
regular job,
exactly,
yeah.
a regular job. It was hard to really go out there and play. So it's good. It's just as long as you feel the ball, you go out there. Now, for sure that sometimes you want more specific time for yourself to work on stuff, but it's always good to just kind of go out there and drill with your clients. You're not really drilling, you know, you're looking at them, kind of, you know, teaching them, but you're also focusing on your own shots. So again, feeling the ball is a great way to go.
Nice.
But yes, to Glenn, I will be playing singles
Yeah.
Coming
at
back to
some
Glenn,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice. Thanks for the
Yeah.
question, Glenn. And then I just want to get to one more thing. We actually have an answer from Andre about where Pickleball Island is. And the answer is
Oh,
Grand Island between
got it.
Buffalo and Niagara
Awesome.
Falls, New York.
cool.
We've been to Niagara Falls actually
Mm-hmm.
in February of 2016. We did a weekend trip to Niagara Falls, and it was beautiful.
The Canada side or the U.S.
The
side?
U.S.
The
side.
US, yeah.
Yeah,
Got to go to the Canada side.
it's better.
So much better.
Really?
Yeah, the U.S. side. The U.S. side is nice, but the Canada side has so much more to it. There, it's just
Were we on the Canada side, or were we on the U.S. side?
Wait, when was that? When we
February of 2016.
we were in we were in Canada.
you're in the
Oh,
Canada.
we were
Yeah,
in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were
So
in Canada.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It was only like a 4-hour drive,
Yeah,
I believe,
Where
from
did we go from?
Michigan State.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we went on a weekend and 4-hour drive, and it's beautiful. It's really nice.
yeah.
Did we go on the
stayed
boat?
at,
No, we did
no,
not
we
go.
didn't
But
go on the
that's
boat.
something we should have done. It's really nice. You go on the boat
Yep.
and you go with what is it called? Oh my gosh.
the waterfall.
The waterfalls,
Yeah.
exactly.
The Maid of the Mist. is the one that goes right up to it. We've done that before. My wife has family who is up there, so when we go to visit, we got to do a couple of trips, which is really cool.
And you
Nice.
said you've been to Toronto before.
Oh, yeah.
right? It's beautiful. I love
Yeah.
Toronto.
Toronto's a really
Super
cool
nice.
city.
Yeah, it's cool.
Clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
For such a big city, I'm like, how
Yeah.
do they keep it so clean? You go to any big city in America, and it's just there's garbage everywhere, and it
Yeah.
smells. You go to Toronto, and you're like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nice.
Yeah.
We actually took my wife's aunt took us. She had a house in the Buffalo area, right on Lake Erie, Ontario, and we took the boat directly across to Toronto. And that was so cool being able to cross there and hang out in Toronto for the day and then take the boat back home. Like
Wow.
that. Yeah, it's such a cool
Nice.
experience. So
That's cool.
Very nice.
yeah, Toronto's fun. Good comments, guys. Keep them coming. There's a couple of things that I want to be able to talk to you guys about here, and this is good. We're going deep here.
Oh, Simone.
Simone did send over some things that she thought would be good to bring up, but before I bring up what she wanted to talk about, or she thought would be good to ask, I want to ask about Simone from your guys' perspective. So she was your coach. What was that like? You guys were in college. She was your tennis coach. There's not a huge age difference there too, right? I mean, it's so. What was that like having her as a coach?
I was the lucky one. Well, meaning, so I was basically she would take care of one side. So the way it would work at our facility, there were 4 courts on each side. So there was our assistant coach Tyler, and Simone was taking care of 4 courts, and Tyler would take care of the courts on the other side. So Simone was on my side.
This is during matches.
Match.
Exactly.
Okay. Yep.
So Simone, I would see a lot more of Simone, and Athena was being coached a lot more by Tyler. But overall, I learned a lot. I mean, through Simone, I had such a pretty bad experience my freshman year at the University of Arkansas, and she gave me a chance. I mean, didn't give me a chance, but she, accepted me. And I mean, once I got to Michigan State, it was just she really helped me out because I was really, kind of sad with what happened my freshman year because my coach was not the greatest, meaning it was kind of mean. So I had a really good experience. She's a very intense coach, but in a really good way. So she would always, want us to try as hard as possible. And I remember we were not allowed to do any kind of negative. We couldn't say anything negative, meaning like, I was going to give a pretty bad example, but like hit yourself with a paddle or a racket,
Yeah.
So a lot of the girls on the team, unfortunately, we would just sometimes take a racket and just really hit the side of her calf. And Simone, every time we would do that, the whole team would run for the entire practice. So she I mean, I like that because now I was like, well, I don't want to do that anymore because you know what's going to happen? All the girls are going to be upset at me. So so she was a very great coach.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me with Simone was she pushed me beyond my limits, which was good for me because I was able to do things that I didn't think I was capable of doing because she pushed me. One thing I used to do actually, like sometimes before my matches, I'm a really laid back person. I'm super easygoing. If you ask anybody that knows me,
Yeah.
I'm sure my first impression of people probably think I'm scary.
She never smiles.
Yeah, that people think I never smile or that I'm scary or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm really laid back, easygoing. And Simone's, she's intense. I mean, anybody who's watched her play pickleball, that's the word that comes, intense, right?
Yeah.
And so, she saw that I was capable of more than I was giving. And so every time we had this thing called ITTs, it stood for like intense interval training or something like that. They was sprints. And every time she knew that I had a little bit of gas left in my tank. And she was like, if you don't empty that tank, you're going to keep running till it's empty, So in practices, in my matches, she she just always pushed me to give everything that I had. And I think that's important as an athlete and in life as well, you know, in anything that you put effort in, you should give 100% of whatever you've got. So that was one of the big things I learned from her, which I appreciated a lot.
I have a funny story. So
geez.
Simoni used to say, well, it's funny because you'll see, but Simoni used to say she didn't want to see any two bounces. So like if we would just warm up, we had to run for all the single, like every single balls. Even if it was out, we had to like go run for it. We couldn't make it, the ball couldn't bounce twice. So if that would happen, like let's say like we just forgot to run for it, or we're just being lazy, we had to run 2 laps, or I can't remember, but like some, you know, a certain amount of laps. And so this past week, I was teaching at Collier's Reserve, where I'm currently teaching, and Simoni used to teach there as well last year. So she was teaching, and we had the same client. So she had, you know, that specific client took some lessons from Simoni, and now she's taking some lessons from me. And she was telling me a story about how she really hurt herself and she fell on the pickleball court. And I was like, oh, like, how come? What happened? She was like, well, Simoni once told me that I got to make sure I run for all the balls and that the balls cannot bounce twice. So I thought it was really funny. And I was like, oh, my God, that was really funny. And actually, that kind of, I'm not sure. I think some people know, but I actually fell pretty badly in my one of the matches against her. I had a pretty bad scratch on my knee, and I just... That's
scratch. I think it was a gouge. That was a little scratch.
That's pretty big.
Yeah,
but, yeah. Now I'm looking at it, it's pretty big. But so yeah, I remember now on a pickleball court, the worst thing that could happen is when that ball bounces twice. I hate it. I really dislike it so much that I was like, well, she just drop shot, you know, she just hit a drop shot. I gotta go for it.
Right.
Otherwise, I don't want to let that ball bounce twice. So I just thought it was funny.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's so cool to see, like, you know, you guys had such a unique experience being able to have her as your tennis coach and now be able to work with her and play against her in pickleball. Like, that must be so cool.
It's cool, but I would say, have you ever played against Simoni?
Not yet.
Not yet, but it's coming. It's coming, but it's probably one of the worst feelings too at the same time.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard competing against her. That's probably, and it's the same thing when I compete against Athena. It's really hard.
Because of the personal connection, is that?
Exactly. Yeah, history and everything. So it makes it hard. You know, it's like when I won against her at nationals, it's almost like I felt bad winning. So. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can understand that. Part of you is probably like, yes, I beat Simoni. But the part of you is like, wait, she's my coach. And
it's
so that
weird. Yeah.
must have been a weird dynamic. Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fascinating stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely a really unique opportunity to be able to work with her in that capacity, for sure.
We're happy.
Yeah. And Athena, she has a nickname for you, right?
AT.
AT.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
We got to see a little bit of that in a couple of the videos that we did for her YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was,
she used it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole team. I don't know. I guess they thought Athena was complicated. I don't know why it came about. but yeah, those are my initials. So they were just like, yeah, the AT it is.
AT?
And I was like, yeah, it sounds cool. Whatever,
yeah, it
sure.
sounds cool.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. I got a bunch of stuff that Simoni sent over that I want to get into. But before we do that, it looks like there's still a lot of stuff coming in on social media, right, Webby?
Yeah, it just keeps on coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Great stuff here. So here's one from Jess Ledbetter. Congrats on all your success, Athena and Kat. Miss you guys.
Jess is the best.
Yes,
she
we
is
miss
one
you
of
too.
our good friends from Michigan that we met at State. One of the sweetest girls you'll ever meet. And we miss you a lot, and we hope that you are doing well. And we'll be in Michigan in July. We hope to see you and Kat and everybody. So yeah, Jess is one of the good ones.
Yes.
Nice. Thanks for the comment, Jess. Here's a great question from Barb Taylor. She says, "What is your workout, weights or endurance?"
Ooh, good question.
That's a great question. We do a little bit of both. For example, 2 nights ago, our trainer, actually that was kind of new, but he made us run a sprint, full out sprint for about 3 to 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was on that treadmill, almost dying.
What was it? He made us run at like
Lord.
10.
Like at 10, yeah, it was really
Yeah.
challenging, and I just didn't feel good at all after that sprint. And then he had us lift a little bit of weight, a lot of weight
Yeah.
at a pretty heavy weight. So we used to do, when we first started, we used to do lighter weight, more how do you call
More
it?
reps.
More reps,
Yeah.
exactly. And now it's the opposite. We're going to more heavy weights and less repetition.
Like
and
CrossFit style? Is that more what it's
yeah,
like?
it's kind of a CrossFit.
Okay.
And we have him twice a week, so whenever we're not with him, usually he gives us a day off, and he gives us some homework. So sometimes he's just gonna say, "Okay, today I want you to do 30 minutes on the treadmill, about 6, not a little easy, not just to get going, to lose some calories." Sometimes he's just gonna say, "Well, this is what you're gonna do today. You're gonna go maybe do some sprints, and then on and off." So yeah, we do a little bit of both.
He actually has us do all kinds of different things. Like sometimes he'll have a circuit set up for us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like 7 or 8 stations, and we spend a minute on each station. It'll be like one station will be like a plank, another station will
okay.
be like a tricep or a bicep exercise, another station will be like jumping jacks. So sometimes it's a circuit, sometimes it's more strength training, sometimes it's more treadmill sprint stuff.
Yeah.
And then we always have homework. And then this last time that we did it, so Tuesdays is like a pretty repetitive day. We always do it on Tuesdays. And he was like, "I'm not going to give you guys any homework because tomorrow you're going to hate me." And we're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
no."
We've been pretty sore for the past 2 days,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we're gonna see him tomorrow night. So hopefully the soreness gonna be gone. But yeah, he's pretty good. And we, again, like I said earlier, we were feeling already better on
Okay.
court. So
Yeah.
that's what's really important to us.
That's cool.
Very nice. Here's a message from your number one fan, CP and Athena.
Oh.
You guys are the coolest. I'm your number one fan. I'm not even going to attempt to say the name because I'm going to butcher it. I don't know if you guys want to say it.
Astrid.
Hi, Astrid.
She's my younger sister. She is 22. And I have a big family. I am the oldest of 7 kids.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Astrid and
Wow,
I are the
man.
2 oldest ones. But yeah,
Super
we love
sweet.
Astrid. Astrid is actually interesting fact. My family is from Haiti.
Okay.
Who would have guessed that? A lot of people think I'm Greek because of the name.
Or sometimes, what are they saying? From
Dominican Republic.
exactly.
Yeah.
What's the
Dominican
same
Republic.
same island, right?
Same island,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so my sister, Astrid, she's actually a dancer, and she went to school at NYU Tisch, which is a dance program at NYU. And she's really passionate about dancing. And my grandmother was a ballet dancer as well, and she moved to Haiti and opened up her dance school. And my sister decided through her passion and love for dance that she wanted to be able to teach and, kind of transfer that passion
Yeah.
over to students, clients, and actually similar, I guess, to what we're doing in pickleball. But my sister's actually living in Haiti right now, and she teaches at the dance school, so she's really happy.
Oh, that's so
Yes,
cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's really
Nice.
cool.
All right, just got a couple more here on social media for now. Here's one from Sally Hudgens. She says, "Love these 2 Spartans.
Hi, Sally.
Sally's
And-
great.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Will you be with
Yes.
us in East Lansing again in July?"
Yes, we will.
will.
I recently emailed one of the ladies that Bernice. She usually takes good care of us whenever we're around in Michigan, and it looks like we're gonna be there. If I remember, mid-July. So July, right around Grand Rapids, the Grand Rapids
Mhm.
tournament. So the week after, I believe. So we're really looking forward to that.
We love our Michigan family.
Yes, go green.
Yeah.
That's right, Eddie.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
Spartan
Forget-
fan.
And
Yep.
our little cup right
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
cups. Yep. Eddie hooked us up.
Yeah. Got to represent the Spartans.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, by the way, if you ever want to go watch football games, the place right by where you guys live, Pelican Larry's.
That's
They
the
have
place.
that's where all the Michigan State football watch parties are at. So
Awesome.
Maybe next season. We'll
Yeah. yeah, let's let this season
This season
play
is-
itself out. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Good stuff. Love all the comments. Keep them coming, guys. But in the meantime, as I mentioned before, Simone had sent over some things that she thought would be juicy for us to get into, right? So Athena, AT, what do you like to go by, AT or Athena? Which one?
I don't mind.
You don't mind?
Yeah, either one. It seems like AT is kind of picking up
Yeah.
in the pickleball world.
Okay.
Ben calls me AT.
And that's because of Simoni.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
And
'cause
she
of
calls
Simone, yeah.
me
That girl
Kathy.
started it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Athena, you mentioned earlier that you're a little bit more chill, laid back. Catherine, I've heard that maybe you have a tendency to sometimes be the opposite of that. Is that accurate to say?
Yes. Whenever I feel low stress, Athena is dealing with it, has to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true.
So back in college days, were there some times where maybe there was some panicking going on from your end where Athena had to kind of come in and why don't you guys tell us about that?
Yeah, we both majored in psychology. So
Okay.
we had a lot of classes together, which I'm very fortunate. But I'm not sure if Athena would say the same thing. So
Okay.
we used to go to classes, together. We had
Yeah.
the same schedule. Maybe every semester we had at least two classes together. So that was awesome. And she's going to say the end of the story, which is really funny. But we would study together, take the exam together, and just sitting next to each other. So anyways, you can say the end of the story.
So I think this story specifically that Simone is referring to is that we were studying for a particular exam in a statistics class that we were taking. And it was something about false positives and type A, or I don't remember what it was. But Catherine didn't understand. She was confused by two different concepts.
All right.
And we had to be able to differentiate them in the exam. And so I went through this whole thing and I spent like 10 minutes trying to explain to her the difference between the two. And she was like, none of what you're saying makes sense to me right now. And I was like, okay, let me try another way.
And we were sitting in class, we were about to take that exam.
Really?
15 minutes. We had 15 minutes before that exam.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to try to explain it to you in a different way. So I spent another 10 minutes trying to explain. I did a whole different way. Trying to, you can say something, you say the same thing in a different way and it clicks. So I was trying to go for that. And at the end of it, she looks at me and she's like, because of you, I'm going to get a 0 on this exam. And I was like, oh, man. I was like,
Oh my God.
I don't know if I could deal with this pressure. I'm
Yeah.
about to take the exam myself, and I'm just trying to help you get it, and I don't know what to do.
So you're over here trying to help her, and then she tries to turn it around on
Right,
you to
yeah,
say
it's
it's
my
your fault.
fault.
You're gonna get the
When
0.
she fails, it's gonna be my fault. I was like, but you didn't know it in the first place. I'm just trying to help.
You confused me even more. Because that's why I was going to fail.
I was like, how could you possibly blame me for this?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's
So
classic.
That's the story she's referring to.
Wait, but say that the best part is that we both got our results back,
Oh.
Yeah.
and I had the highest grade.
Oh, come
First
on.
score on the exam.
Oh my
By
gosh.
10%. I was like, this is ridiculous. You just guessed. It's, Eddie, you know what it is? It's the lucky thing that
The
I was telling you
yeah.
about. She just is so lucky.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
That's
Good time.
the story.
So you stress about it, and then it just always works out.
Yes,
that-
it happens. Yes,
Okay.
unfortunately, a lot of the time it happens. I get stressed out about things, and then afterwards, I'm like, how come did I get so stressed out? Sorry, I put you in
Every
that
time.
in that situation.
Every time. So now before I try to preempt it,
Yeah.
I'm like, Catherine, this has happened before.
Right.
What happened last time this happened? She was like, I don't want to talk about that. And I was like, what do you mean you don't want to talk? You know that this is going to happen again.
Right.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Doesn't resonate.
Nothing.
That's funny. It's just your process, right? Yeah. That's
It
funny.
is what it is. The things you do for those you love.
That's right. Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
jeez.
So how many times did you quit tennis on Simone?
That's a good one.
That's really embarrassing. I can't believe she brought this up. Yeah, so, whenever I would have some bad losses maybe it was not that bad. It's just that I'm very hard on myself. So maybe I play I played really well and there was a really good player in front of me. No matter what, I would still get upset about it. And I would just be like, no, that was just, I could have done much better. And, it was really rare for me to just go out there and not try. I've never really done that. So it would go always 100%. And I would say that was one of my best quality on court, is that I was always trying no matter what. And so I would get really upset afterwards because, I would try really hard and it was just not, I wouldn't come out with the win. So yeah, I was just, sometimes I would just kind of say, well, Simoni would come talk to me on the bench after the matches. And then it's really not a good time to talk to me. Maybe give me a little 10 minutes. But sometimes she would come next to me and I would say oh, Simoni, I'm sorry, but I'm going to quit pickleball. And I would just go on and off. And then
Tennis.
And tennis. Well, tennis. And that one time, so that happened a few times. And then my senior year, maybe we had probably just 3 months left. And I get a text. I used to say the same thing. I'm going to quit.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, she got kind of sick of it. And so I got a text and I was like, oh, Athena. She's really upset. She needs an answer right now if I want to quit or if I want to keep going. So I was
she called your bluff? Is that?
She was like, you're saying yes and you got to stay committed to it. You're not going to say ever that you're going to quit ever again. Or you're just going to be out of the lineup. And I was like, well, I want to play. So I guess I'm just going to have to, to not say I'm going to quit anymore. So I guess that really helped out because I did say I'm gonna play. There's no way I was gonna sit on that bench and not play. So I did say I was gonna quit often.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Thank you.
That is pretty funny though,
too.
that she called you out on your bluff there too.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Thank you, Simoni.
That's great. So we've been picking on you a little bit, Catherine, but Athena, you're not off the hook here just yet.
I didn't think
Thank
so.
God.
Yeah.
Simoni, we're never off the hook.
No. She
Oh, jeez.
So what is the story about bent legs on the tennis court?
That's
Can
a
you
good one.
can you share that?
So Tyler and Simoni used to give me a lot of crap because they said I didn't use my legs. So what happened, and I claimed that I used my legs. So what happened is they, without my consent, photographed me and posted the photo on my locker in the locker room, Eddie.
In front of everybody, all the girls could see it.
Yep.
So funny.
And they measured it, the angle of the of how bent my knees were. What was it, 15 degrees? It was not good. It was not good.
You were pretty much the legs
almost
were
straight up.
Yeah,
almost
they were straight up.
I just think it just happened to be that one shot that I was hitting. Yep.
That's funny.
I don't think so.
So anyways, by the end, I was bending my knees a lot more. She'll still tell you that I was not bending my knees, but I was.
But you, okay.
I was.
All right.
No.
I think it's hard because a lot of times I'll be doing that and I'll be like, oh, I'm totally bending my knees. And then I'll go back and watch video and I'm completely straight up or I'm bending my back a little bit. And it's so I think it really is hard to tell unless you actually see yourself.
That's very true.
For sure.
Yes.
I do that all the time when I teach. People were like, my paddle wasn't down. I'm like, okay. I'm going to record you right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to watch it back. They're like, oh, man, my paddle was
You're
down.
Well, like the video clip we showed earlier of Lauren and Kyle when Kyle got body bagged, his paddle was down. But I bet you if you would have asked him, he would have sworn it was Up and ready position.
I love the look that he gave
Oh,
Lauren.
yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That's kind of the look
Yeah.
that I sometimes give to Athena.
Right before that stats exam. Yep.
Yep.
Funny you should mention that because, as I mentioned before, you guys used to play doubles together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And can you talk a little bit about that dynamic when you guys played doubles together?
It was
Did that ever happen?
I
Did the
mean-
stare down ever happen?
I guess
Oh,
like the
man.
friend.
Every
when we were
point.
just friends,
Yeah.
like it was not that bad.
Oh, yes, it was.
Oh.
Catherine, do you remember that time that we were playing against Purdue?
Oh,
Listen to this
that was
story,
so
Eddie.
bad.
Listen to this
Oh,
story.
that's so embarrassing.
We were playing against Purdue.
Yeah.
Okay. Catherine and I were playing doubles, and it was a pro set up to 8 games. Okay. We were down 5-1. Mind you, at this point, Catherine's telling me that we're going to lose.
Wait, I think we're up 5-1, and we ended up.
We were up 5-1?
Okay, keep going, maybe.
Catherine's telling me that we're going to lose and that we're not playing well and that the whole team's going to lose because we're losing. And she's saying all these things, and I had a trouble in college because, you know, when you grow up playing tennis, it's just you.
Yeah.
It's not a team sport. And so when I started playing college tennis, all of a sudden, the result of my match didn't just impact me. It impacted
The
the
whole
entire
team.
team.
Mm-hmm.
And despite what people might think, I'm actually very sensitive. And so, you know, I didn't want to let the team down. So I felt like, you know, a little bit of pressure from
Yeah.
it. So I had this problem with my serve sometimes. That's the first thing that goes when you're nervous, Eddie's the serve. So we're playing against Purdue. We're down 5-1. We come back to 5-4, okay? We're up 40-love to tie it for 5-5, okay? I'm serving. We're up 40-love. I double fault. Catherine looks at me, and I'm like, okay. Next point, double fault.
Oh, God.
This point is 40-30. Next point, double fault. I
Oh.
proceed to double fault the entire game away.
Oh,
Catherine's
God.
losing it at this point. I'm like, Catherine, don't worry. It's fine. She's like, it's not fine. And I'm like, okay, it's not fine. You're right. You're right. That was terrible. I'm sorry.
Oh,
So I think,
we end up losing 8-5.
yeah, we lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We came
Yeah.
back, but too much pressure. It was too much pressure.
Yeah, that was a rough one. So that's one of the examples of our interactions during our doubles matches at Michigan State.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Yep.
So, Catherine, were you usually the one that would get frustrated with Athena versus Athena getting frustrated with you?
I feel like I was getting kind of like, yeah, I guess frustrated, but also like I was getting stressed.
Yeah.
And when I'm stressed, I say sometimes things that I shouldn't say. or like I say things that, you know, I don't really mean to say.
Sure.
Because I'm sure that if, you know, Athena would talk to me after give me like 5 minutes again. Like I said, give me 5 minutes and I'll be fine. But if you talk to me within that 5 minutes, I might say things that I don't mean or that I really don't think enough about. So, yeah, that's challenging sometimes.
I could see that being a little challenging.
Yeah. A little. Yeah.
So, are there other things that you guys disagree on, have differences of opinions on in your day-to-day life?
There's this one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to bring up?
No.
So I have this habit. Like, we teach like a decent amount of hours a
Sure.
day. And it's outside, it's hot, and we're on our feet all day.
It sucks.
So sometimes when we get home, I'm like kind of tired and I just want to sit for like a second. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm not just going to get home and like jump in the shower like that. Like I
Right.
just need to like chill for like a second, right? So I take my shoes off. That's like the best feeling. Like
Mhm.
when you've been standing all day, you take your shoes off, you take your socks off, and I leave them in front of the couch. She loses it.
Because it's not just one day, it's every day. So it's like there's a pile. Now, right now, like I think right now in the living room we have
Socks.
about 10 pair of socks, like in one.
That's so funny.
And I'm not touching that. That's disgusting. But oh my God, that's one thing, yes, for sure, that annoys me a little bit.
All right, so are one of you guys like real clean and neat and tidy and organized, and one of you maybe not so much?
I think unfortunately, she's taking that from me a little bit. I'm the one who's a little bit messy.
You're the messy one?
She's
All right.
the cleaner one.
But
It's
then
not necessarily
randomly, you
cleaning,
get
but-
into some moods where you just like clean the whole
That's true.
apartment.
I'm like,
for like
alright.
no reason.
Yes, and she cannot like interrupt. Like I'm
And
like,
I'll,
no,
like-
no, I'm into it. I gotta finish it up.
Yeah, and it's like I'm like more the day-to-day stuff. So like, let's say I'll have cereal or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll use like a bowl and a spoon, and I'll like put it away in the dishwasher.
Sure.
Like Catherine will just like make a collection in the sink. But then like,
Fine.
but
Yeah,
then like she'll
yeah.
randomly pick a day where she'll just like, if there's like 5 bowls, like that day, like she
Yeah.
puts all the, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like not one of us is like messy or neat,
Yeah.
but it's like in different ways, kind
Okay.
of, if that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
What about pets?
Oh, that's definitely from Simoni for sure.
How many questions did she
I was
send?
I was trying to ease into it so you guys wouldn't think it came from her.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
my
She's
goodness.
the only one that would, well.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh. So, yeah, that happened. So I grew up with 3 dogs, 2 cats, birds, rabbits. I mean, the rabbits were outside. They were
Right.
living outside. They were not in the house. Actually, I had one that was in a cage. And so anyways, my whole life, my whole childhood,
Yeah.
I had animals or pets in my house. So when I moved to the United States, when I went to University of Arkansas, I was in a dorm, so I couldn't have any pets. When I transferred to Michigan State, I couldn't have.
Right.
I mean, I was still in a dorm, and then on my junior year, since I was out of the dorm, guess what? I decided to get a cat. So I got a cat just for 1 year because my roommate, one of my roommates, then the following year, she was allergic to cats. So I had to drive my cat. Well, during the summer, I just drove him to my parents' house, and now he's actually just the same as Webby. Webby's cat right there, the orange cat.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, he
and-
actually just jumped into my lap. Right when we started talking.
That's
So
funny.
He knew.
Perfect timing here.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I really wanted to have, kind of a pet, a cat or a dog. So I didn't have I didn't have Chester, that was his name. I mean, still his name, but I
Right.
didn't have him for 2 years. And so once we graduated from college, we moved to Florida. We were living in with her parents, her grandmother, so we couldn't really have our own pet. And now that we're finally in Naples,
Right.
well, I'm thinking it's the right time. So I came up with the pros and cons, and I guess it just doesn't make sense for us to get a pet. But because of the traveling, the 2
Sure.
new pro tours that's just happening, which we're very fortunate about. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I went to the point that I wanted to buy an RV just to be able to really travel
Right.
with my dog.
Yeah.
So we 2 weekends ago we had a really, really bad fight over that because I decided on that Saturday morning when I woke up, I decided I wanted to get that French bulldog that I saw on the website.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, Athena, you're not gonna let me. I mean, you're not gonna say no to this. You're gonna say yes
Right.
because this is what I came up with. So I went through the list and I was like, we're gonna find some pet sitters and everything. So basically, yes, it was a big kind of a big little fight for no reason. Because at the end of the day, I was like, I think you're right. We're gonna be traveling way too much for that, and it doesn't make sense to get an RV just to be able to travel with a pet.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait until we're settled in, or a little bit later in the future.
Okay.
Yep.
It got
Is
to the
it-
point where I sent Simoni a text because you know how it is, Eddie. You're in a relationship. You'll listen to every anybody else in the world other than your significant other. I mean, everybody knows it's true. You know, you could say the same thing, but as soon as it comes from somebody else, you're like, you know, that really makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And so I was like, Simoni, like,
Catherine's about
Catherine
to get that
wants
dog.
to get a dog. Like, you need to help me. Like, she'll listen to you. And then Simoni sends Catherine a text, like, within 10 minutes saying, you're not getting a dog, are you? And then Catherine looks at me, and I was like, oh, Jesus.
I was so upset. I was upset at both of them. I was like, how come you
She
won't let me
sold
get a
me
dog?
out.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so that was...
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't brought it up in 2 weeks, so that's
been
that's
nice.
new. That's new.
Is that a record? Like 2 weeks without
Yep.
bringing
Yeah,
up
that's
the
very,
dog?
probably a record.
But now
I'm
that you
always-
brought it up, Eddie, here it goes.
Yeah.
That's what
Gonna
we
On
do.
the
start
way
again.
to the apartment tonight, I'll be looking at some dogs.
See,
I'm like,
we've been accused from the No Smoke Pickleball show of not asking the hard hitting questions, and so I'm like,
oh,
now I asked them. Boom.
oh.
Wow.
Yeah, dropping the bombs over there. That's cool. Well, that's all I got from Simoni.
Oh, thank
But-
goodness.
Yeah, that's it. But there is actually something funny in the spirit of solving differences between you two. I heard you guys had a little competition going on. As you know, on Simoni's YouTube channel, you each had a video where you kind of drove it. Catherine, you were talking about third shot drops.
Yes.
Athena, you were talking about dinks.
No.
And you were trying to see who could get more views, right?
It was a one-way competition, Eddie. One way.
Well,
Oh, look.
he-
Simone.
he-
Oh, jeez.
that's funny.
I told her not
Yeah,
to
Simone
go live on
is
so
too-
later.
Yep, Simoni is tuned in right now, and she said it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's talking about the text message
Yeah.
that it
Is
worked.
that what she's talking about?
I'm sure.
Oh, man.
Mm.
It's too funny.
Yeah.
What were we
Yeah,
talking
what
Oh,
were
the
you
YouTube.
saying?
Yeah. Okay.
The YouTube channel.
So, but here's the thing: is that Catherine, yours came out a week before yours at Athena.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't look at. You can't look at the numbers today. So what I did is I went back and I said, well, after the first week, who had more views?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness.
And guess, do you guys
Are
know?
you nervous about this?
Of course. I got to
See?
win. I got to make
I
sure
told
gotta
you it's
win.
a
I
one-way thing.
have more views.
Oh my god.
What do you guys who do you think had more views?
Yeah, I feel like Catherine probably.
Yeah.
You have more
But
total
I feel
views.
like that since Eddie is bringing it, I think it might be you, Athena.
Since he's bringing it up.
Yeah.
He's only bringing it up because it was one of Simoni's questions.
No, this
And
was
she's
all
like,
me.
I
Oh,
can
this
give
was
you
all
more.
you?
Yeah.
No, thank you, Simone. You're gonna pass.
I love it. Well, so Athena, your video was on dinking.
Yeah.
In 1 week, you had 7,403 views.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Webby, what's our like highest number viewed video? First, if we had any video at 7,000 views, which you got after 1 week, it would make it into our top 5 videos of all time. Just so you
Right.
know.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
Nice.
So are we talking pickleball only or any videos?
yeah, yeah,
Because like our videos that are not pickleball related, those are the ones that get tons of views.
yeah.
Mm.
Our pickleball videos get very little views. Just so you know. Wait, so
Except
7,000.
for,
Yeah,
except
go
for
ahead.
pickleball anthem. That pickleball anthem is the one that actually got a decent amount of views.
Mm.
And the video of me playing with Simoni. Those are like those are
yeah,
highest
yeah.
views.
and that's only because Simoni shared it. If
Yeah.
she wouldn't have shared it, it probably would have like 7 views right now.
Yeah.
Seriously. So 7,403 views for you. And then Catherine, what's your guess for the number of views after 1 week?
Are you like sweating?
Yeah, like
Well,
seriously.
it is a little hot in here, guys. Sorry, I don't know why. It's
Oh,
No,
like
no, no.
yeah.
I'm sweating because I gotta win that competition. I've been dying for it.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take a guess. I just want to see if you had a guess.
I would say 8,000.
Webby, what's your guess?
I'm gonna go 9,200.
11,046.
Wow.
Oh,
After
nice.
1 week, 11,046. So Catherine did win that one by 3,643 views.
By a lot.
But
Wow.
I, from a YouTube perspective, especially so pickleball on YouTube is like this tiny, teeny little market. So after 1 week for either one of those videos to get that much exposure is absolutely incredible. And so
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that was
Both
pretty good.
both great. Yeah,
Simone's
definitely.
YouTube channel in general is doing really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's doing good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's people are loving it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
get amazing feedback all the time, so
Yeah.
it's
I
really
think
cool
it
stuff.
really help her that we were on the video. I'm just kidding.
I agree. That's cool.
So, Catherine, I was chatting with a distant relative of yours before the show, and he
Oh, I
wanted
know
me to make sure
exactly who
that
this
I said
is.
hi to you,
Mhm.
and that was Pickleball Hall of Famer Steve Parenteau.
Mhm.
Oh, Steve, nice.
You were
So
on his
he was
show
on our
before,
show.
weren't you? Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was. Yes, I was. Actually a guest for Simoni's show.
Mm-hmm.
So he had invited me to talk about a little bit about her, and yeah, that was a pretty cool show. It was on over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Does he still do it?
He hasn't done it since. Actually, I think Webby and I were probably one of his last shows he did. Right?
Yeah, I think he did
liked
our
it.
show, and he was like, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah. He's like, we got these two hacks coming on. Forget it. I'm out of here.
Right? I've hit rock bottom. Eddie and Webby are my guests.
Yep. Yeah. He's like, there's nothing I can do at this point. So that's cool.
No, I think he's going to come back. He just wanted to take a break for a bit. But when he was on the show, something interesting he told us is that his family spelled their last name the same way you do until about 90 years ago. And then they changed it slightly to be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know about that?
Yeah, I believe
Parenteau.
so.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I thought
Instead
that was interesting.
Yeah, that makes. I mean, I wish I could do that for my name here in for the
Right.
Americans, because it's confusing, EAU at the end. A lot of people say, I hear a lot of whenever I play out there, I'm not sure if they're calling me. No, I'm just kidding,
Right.
but sometimes it's a very hard last name, the EAU part. So I just wish they could put an O, because it
Right.
basically stands for an O. So it's basically parent, just like a parent, and an O, Parenteau. So it's a lot simpler that way than just thinking it's the weird letters, the French letters.
What are some of the? Because I actually made a video about how pickleball announcers just butcher last names, and I never released it because I didn't want people to misinterpret it, because I
Right.
wasn't. Anyway, long story short, what are some of the variations that you've heard when you've been announced?
Parenteau,
Yeah.
what would you say?
Cow.
Parenteau. That's the
Parenteau.
yes. That's the one.
Parenteau.
Parenteau.
Yeah.
Friend to you.
Yeah, TU. Yeah, I would say Parenteau is the one that's usually.
Okay.
I think actually the worst would be Athena's last name. I mean, it's really
Mhm.
hard. It's a
At
really hard.
Nationals, it was terrible.
Yeah,
What are some of the ones you've got?
Trouillot.
Troy Lot.
Trouillot, exactly.
Troy Let. There's
Troy-
not even an E there.
But I mean, it's a
Troillette.
very hard last name.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know the Trouillot, and then you say, what is it? The true or false,
Yeah,
Troy-
and then yo.
and
yeah.
then yo.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier.
Well, I nailed it.
So I just
when I introduced you guys.
Yeah,
is
that was
very
pretty
true.
good.
That's
Nice
cool.
work.
I didn't even tell Eddie the pronunciation before, and he knew it. That
Well,
was pretty
like I
impressive.
said, we have a team of researchers.
Yeah.
And they dig into it.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
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 Well, I recently did a tournament and had the worst ever butchering of my name during that tournament, and it's in the video that I posted. But my name shows up on pickleballtournaments.com as Webby Schindler, and it was pronounced Weeby Schneider.
Oh my goodness.
Weeby.
Funny.
Weeby. Wow.
Yeah, at US
Jeez.
Open, I heard, let's see, Kavalova. I heard that a few
Mm.
times. Joey Ferraris. That
Oh,
one.
yes,
Ferrari.
that's
Yep.
a hard one.
Ferraris. That one came
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, Ferrari, yes.
Yep. Oh, God. What were some of the other ones? Zane Navratil. Navarital.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Goodness.
So it's, I
Oh,
listen in now.
Martina
because
Coakley.
Oh,
Martina
yeah,
Coakley had some good ones.
Coachilli.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I remember
I
that
remember
one too.
that
yeah.
one. Yeah, Coachella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was like Coachella. I was like, what?
Well, and that's what like I said, I'm not making fun of a lot of these
Yeah.
these announcers. They're typically volunteers and stuff like that, but I don't know. To me, it's like when you're announcing the pros,
Yeah.
maybe just learn their names
Yeah.
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 just a little bit. You got a
Some-
question? I mean, if you were to lean over to your person next to you, like, how do you pronounce that? They're like, oh, Parenteau. Okay.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, somebody would know the right way to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
maybe sometimes they feel stressed out.
Yeah.
They have to send that match on.
So, right.
And then maybe that's when like they don't even read twice, you
Yeah.
know, they just read it once and they're like, I'm just gonna say it however it's
Yep.
written there. And but you're right.
Yeah, it was interesting stuff. God, we're going on like an hour and a half. You guys don't have to leave right now. do
No,
you?
no, no.
No.
Cool.
We're good.
All right, good. Because I got other stuff I want to be able to cover.
So, Simoni wrote more.
Yeah. I'm getting tons of stuff from Simone here. No, just kidding.
Uh,
I want to talk about nationals because obviously nationals was a pretty awesome success for both of you. That was really cool. Catherine, obviously 2 silver medals. Athena, your silver medal with playing with Catherine.
Yep.
Talk about nationals. What's that whole experience like? And then I have one other question at the end of that. But go ahead. Let's talk about nationals a little bit. Like, tell me about the whole experience.
That was for me, it was my second year, and
Yeah.
for Athena it was her first year. She couldn't come last year because she was in school. She couldn't take some time off of school, so I was really happy. I just remember like before we actually went to nationals. You know, the week before, I was like, I can't wait for you to see this beautiful place. It's so awesome. You won't believe it. And I was just so, you know, excited because like I said before with Lauren, I said, you know, it's a place that I used to watch it on TV.
Right.
I used to watch my favorite tennis players play out there. And it's so awesome that we get the opportunity to actually play pickleball, our favorite sport out there, where I used to see my idols, right?
Right.
And the environment, I mean, there were a lot more people than last year watching, and even in our age final, so it was awesome. I mean, it was just the crowd. A lot of people came up to talk to us, and they were really happy, and it was just really, really great experience in general.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think for me, since it was my first year at
Yeah.
nationals, I mean the venue was great. I mean there's no other venue like that. The courts are all beautiful. The seating's great for all of them. I mean there's no other facility
Yeah.
like it. And kind of for me it was my first time playing on center court where there were so many people watching, and just the energy in the stadium and the environment was incredible. And you know, I think in that final and in a lot of our matches, we kind of had the crowd behind us, which is
Yes.
great. And you know, you always hear like professional tennis players talk about how the crowd helped them so
Right.
much,
Yeah.
and it's like you know you can actually feel it because it's like you play a great point and you win that point and you hear like the roar and people are cheering you on and they're using your name and all this stuff, and it's incredible. It's really rewarding, and you know, we're really fortunate and grateful that we have the opportunity to have that experience.
That's so cool. Yeah, I've heard it's unbelievably beautiful there. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So a lot of times when, you know, you guys are looking at tournaments and stuff like that, talk about how you find partners. Like, what's that whole process like at, you know, the higher levels?
It's actually quite a challenge
Yeah.
to find a partner to play with, unless you really get that person way ahead.
Yeah.
So some players, they're all booked already for 2020, and they're talking already about 2021. So it really depends on also, like, since we are more pickleball full time, well, our schedule is a little bit more available than other
Mhm.
players. So it really depends on, you know, who you feel like you could have a good chemistry with. If you've tried to play with that person before and it worked out great, then maybe that's somebody that you're gonna ask to play more tournaments with. And depending on their schedule, you try to fit as many as you can with that specific player. So it's very challenging because there are a lot more tournaments coming up.
Sure.
I think in our schedule
Yeah.
we have 26 tournaments coming up, and that's gonna be, I mean, I'm really excited about.
That's
It's awesome.
that's
It's
insane. That's over
just-
2 a
it's
month.
insane.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be two
Yep.
a month. Very challenging schedule, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think we're really lucky to have 2 pro tours going on,
Mhm.
which is pretty awesome for the sport and us in general. And so yeah, it can be a little bit challenging. So I know I'm playing with, you know, Joey quite a few Steve Deacon, and then I'm playing maybe 1 or 2 with Tyler Loon. So it's really and same thing for women's. I'm playing mostly with Corinne, and then I'm playing few with Athena. We decided to play smaller tournaments together for now. Athena likes to say I'm working on my way up.
Yeah. Okay.
And with the experience that she had at MSU with me, with the pressure and everything, she wants to make sure that she's ready. And I'm not putting pressure. I don't want to put pressure on her. And I'm like, okay, just let me know whenever you're ready. The more the more experience you get. And I think, we're going to be able to play a lot more tournaments together in the future because she's going to start playing a lot more.
Yeah. You excited about that?
Yeah. I mean, I think Catherine is somebody that a lot of people hope to have the opportunity to play with just because, like she described, she has this competitive side to her that she, really does not want to lose, and she's willing to do whatever it takes, to make sure that she gives 100% in every single match and comes out with the win. And that's exactly what you want in a partner. You know what I mean? Somebody who is just gonna leave it all out there no matter what. So yeah, I'm really excited that we're gonna play a couple more tournaments together, and I haven't been able to play as much as I want to just because I never had a full-time pickleball job like Catherine has, and I was getting my master's at the same time as working full-time in a regular job, and so it made it hard for me to kind of practice and play as much as I wanted to.
Sure.
But then when we moved to Naples, we had Simoni here, and we have a couple other really good guys that we practice with, Ben, and
we're very lucky.
We've been able to practice more, and now we started working out with this personal trainer, and in just a short month, I was able to see really good results at nationals.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I played really well, and that was just after a month. So I'm really excited to see like what'll come now that I'm starting to play more and train and get into good shape. And I'm excited to see what we can do.
That's awesome. Well, I look forward to see what you guys can do out on the court there for sure.
Yeah.
So, what's going on, Webby?
So something I wanted to bring up is something that I saw a lot of attention on the pickleball forum about, and you guys were talking about nationals and partnerships, and something that got a lot of attention is Catherine's partnership with Zane Affleck. So I was just curious, can you talk about like how that partnership came to be?
Yeah, so we actually decided back in I can't remember. So I decided last minute, or maybe a month ahead or two, that I wanted to play Vegas. Wait, I'm trying to figure. No, Texas Open. And I didn't have a mixed partner, so I found Zane. I was going through a lot of different guys, and I found Zane, and he was available, so I gave it a try, and that tournament we played really well. We had some really good wins, and we fell short against Lucy and Matt. We got 4th place, and we fell short like by 2 points. We lost 17-15. So we were almost on the podium. So and we had a pretty good chemistry going, and so it was a great tournament overall. And I actually only had one tournament plan to play with Zane. I only had one scheduled, and it was the Texas Open. So when it was maybe mid-October, I got a message from Marcin Robspetsky. Is that how we say? Robspetsky, yeah. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it because of his knee. So I was looking for last-minute partners, and it happened that Zane didn't have a partner. So I texted him and also made sure that it was okay with the tournament director, Melissa. And she was like, "Yeah, you're all set to go. You can, you'll get to play with. You're all set to go to play with Zane." So that's how it worked out for us at nationals.
Nice. Yeah, we had Zane was on the podcast when we were live at Perrin during the Beer City Open, and it was by far the most controversial portion of our podcast ever. Just Rob Cassidy was there, kind of stirring things up, and had a lot of interesting conversations. We ended up dissecting the video clip of Zane doing the nasty Nelson to Timothy Nelson, aka the Puppet Master. So that was pretty interesting and fun times. So what about your as far as the women's doubles partner, your partnership with Jessie Irvine? How did that come to be?
So I was really lucky. So it was back at the U.S. Open last year in 2018, April, and so I played one tournament, one big major with Lee Waters, and which was the U.S. Open actually. So it was me and Lee versus Jesse and Lindsay Newman in the to play for the third place at the U.S. Open, and we won in 3 games. It was a very challenging match. That was the first time I met Jessie, because she's only been playing for a year as of this month.
Right. Yeah. No, it was November last year, right?
Yeah, November of last year, and I didn't have any partners yet for nationals or TOC and nationals. I didn't have any partner, so Jeffrey Warnick, which she's very close to. Her friend came over the following morning, and he asked me, he said, "Oh, Catherine, do you have a partner or for nationals?" And he was asking me about a few tournaments, and I was like, "Oh, I actually don't have a partner for nationals." So I said, "Would you mind giving me her number?" And he gave it to me.
Yeah.
And I texted her right away, and that's how we were able to really play together at nationals. So I got really lucky to get such a great partner last minute like that, because. Again, like I said earlier, there's just usually whenever you schedule your tournaments, you make commitments a year ago almost,
right,
a year beforehand. So yes, I was very lucky to be able to play with Jessie. So now that we knew we were gonna play together at nationals, we said, well, what about playing Vegas? Do you have a partner? Well, I tried a few tournaments, and finally we found that both of us could play Vegas. So we decided to have like a little kind of to get ready together to play at nationals. So we got to play Vegas together, and which we did pretty well as well. We got silver, and so we felt really comfortable going into nationals, and we play really well together.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, obviously it worked out well for you guys.
Yes,
So.
yes, it did.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what is it about? I know it's like a hard question to ask, but it's like, what is it about the chemistry? Like, and actually, this is a question for both of you guys. Like, what's your ideal partner out on that court when it comes to their personality? Like, what do you look for? Athena, I'll start with you on that one.
I think it's important to have a partner who, when you get kind of excited and stressed out, is able to calm you down and kind of take you back to a neutral zone.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody has, that moment in the match where, they feel nervous or they feel kind of stressed out. And sometimes you'll play with somebody who kind of makes it worse.
Yeah.
and I think it's important to have that chemistry and kind of have, that relationship with somebody where they're able to kind of calm you down, and bring you in a place where your mind is clear, so that when you're playing, you're able to make smart decisions and do things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do, because you're not focused, and you're not concentrating on the right things because you're stressed out or nervous or whatever it is. So I think that's definitely important. And I think the other thing that's really important is having somebody who encourages you and supports you, and that comes with the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really just the good, because the reality is that nobody wins everything,
right?
And nobody does everything perfectly all the time. And to have somebody that's realistic and understands that, sometimes you're gonna mess up and sometimes they're gonna mess up, and you're a team, and that's just kind of how it works, right? And just to always be supportive and encouraging no matter what, I think is key in a partnership.
Yes, I agree. That's one of the biggest thing for me too. And what I like to talk a lot on court, meaning like quick little communication.
Like check-ins.
Yeah, like, talk about maybe strategy for 2 seconds, I like to mix it up sometimes whenever we have a position that's not working out, just on stack or stack, whatever. So it's really important for me to be able to talk, because otherwise, if I just keep everything, inside, that's not good. I'm not gonna be able to play as well. So also the fact that I really like, what was great with Athena and what was great also as well with Jessie is that we were both saying commands and, and looking at each other. And I really like that. I can really feel that we both want it, and it's just not a one-way thing.
Right.
So that's really important for me. And what really helped me out is that Jessie was like, Catherine, you can tell me whatever you want. I just want to win. So that kind of made me feel like, oh, all right, well, she's easy to talk to. And I can say, well, I think maybe it would be better to be on the back end side this time. And so there's no kind of weird, tension. So it's really important for me to be out there and play and, knowing that my partner wants to win and then doesn't really care what position she's in. She wants to win. That makes me feel good.
Well, yeah, it's almost like she's relinquishing that trust. Like, I trust in you.
Exactly.
So let's win this, and I know that you're going to have the best intention. Because to me, it's like, there's the only wrong decision is no decision, right? So it's like, let's try something with confidence and go after it and then be able to course correct. So it's like, no matter who's making the decision, it's just most importantly to me that somebody out there is making that decision.
Yes.
And that can alternate back and forth, but for her to be able to say that, it's like, cool, I got it. Let's roll with it. Yeah, I could definitely relate.
Yes.
I think that would really be a good strategy in trying to, to set yourself up for success.
Build some trust. Yes, for sure.
That's cool. God, I feel like I could talk about this stuff all night. So, you
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So you guys, you both majored in psychology,
Yes.
and okay, and then Athena, you said you went on to get your master's.
I did,
in psychology as well?
No, so I actually got my master's in sports administration.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have an aunt who is a psychologist, and it's really kind of hard to do something in psychology without a PhD.
Yeah.
You really need a PhD, and that was like an extra 4 or 5 years in school, and I didn't want to do that. I'm really passionate about helping people, and I think in what I'm doing now, I can, because I teach pickleball, and and that's something that I'm passionate about, and being able to share, certain knowledge about pickleball with people is really rewarding, because you're able to see them progress, and you're able to see them do something over and over and over again and fail. And when they finally get it, and to see the reaction that they have is, priceless. And, I mean, we've traveled to areas and done clinics where there's people that play pickleball who have no instructors in that area,
Yeah.
and
There's
who
probably a
know
lot of
nothing.
areas like that.
There's a
Yeah.
ton.
Oh, yeah.
ton.
There's
Yeah.
a ton of them. And you come and you spend like 3 hours with these people, and they're like so happy to take a clinic from us, and be able to meet us and to learn like all these things that are foreign to them, that they've never even heard of.
Sure.
So I decided when I was getting my master's that I wanted to do something that was related to sports, because I played tennis my whole life, and now I'm playing pickleball, and sports has always been kind of a big part of my life. And the master's program that I was in was condensed into 1 year. So I got it done in 1 year, and now I have my master's.
Wow.
I graduated in August. So it worked out well. I was able to get my master's and get it done quick, unlike the psychology PhD, which would take me 4 or 5 years. You can't really condense it.
Nope.
So yeah, that's kind of why I decided to go that route.
Okay.
No.
That's cool. But I honestly feel like the psychology piece of it can help you so much with athletics. I brag about it all the time. My wife has her master's degree in sports psychology. Actually, when you guys showed
I
up
didn't know
tonight,
that.
she's taking her doctorate right now. So she.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she was doing statistics. Actually, funny you talk about your statistics course. Yeah.
Nice.
So she's studying for that, but I bag her. I'm like, help me with the mental game and this and that all the time. Like, and she's got her handful with me, but I definitely appreciate the psychology aspect of it and the mental part of pickleball that, it's so helpful, so beneficial.
Oh yeah,
So
Huge.
you
it's
guys
huge,
haven't-
and I
Any
honestly,
sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And I honestly feel like that's why Eddie has been victorious in all the Eddie versus Webby matches so far, because he's got his wife that helps him with the mental aspect. And I feel like I crack under the pressure during like big matches. I do great during rec play. If we do rec play, the two of us, I usually beat Eddie. But then once it comes down to the actual Eddie versus Webby match, I choke, can't get the job done.
She's the brains behind the talent.
That's right.
Yep,
Yeah,
I will
what it
give her a
is.
lot of credit for sure, but she still has a long way to go with me. So I love it. What's going on, Webby?
So we were getting a whole bunch of comments from somebody from Twitch actually, but I don't think they are actually supposed to be commenting on our channel. I think something happened and they got kind of like paths got crossed, because I'm just gonna put a couple of their comments on here, and because I mean, at first I thought maybe it was like French Canadian that we would need Catherine to translate for us, but I don't think it is. Do you know what this means? Hush is so important on Sivir against these three Rainic 3-star PD players. And then he also went on to say, or Swordbreaker.
I don't think it's French Canadian.
Literally so contested in Plat right now, unplayable.
Wow.
So
I don't.
not sure what that's all about.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means either.
Yeah.
Thank you, Beavas. Is that what? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. But there is somebody that did actually mention us on Twitch, though, here. Hello, how are you? I have checked out your Eddie Twitch channel.
Yeah, it's just
the Eddie channel.
It's just
not,
the
not
Eddie
the Eddie and
Twitch
Webby channel.
That's great.
Webby gets no credit.
No credit. Yeah.
Right? Man, I tell you. But I did actually have something I wanted to bring up, like absolutely like unrelated to anything we've discussed so far, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I posted something on the Pickleball forum yesterday, and it is by far the most popular thing I have ever posted in my life. And it has unfortunately nothing to do with our YouTube channel, nothing to do with the podcast. I just took a picture of a new ornament that I got. It's a pretty badass ornament, though. It is this pickleball. It's a pickle playing pickleball.
Nice.
It's so meta.
Wow.
That's
I
pretty
do
cool.
love this. It looks black right now. Does it look black on your end?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look black.
What color is
Do you have
it?
like the green screen effect on me? It's green.
No, man.
Weird.
That's weird, isn't it?
But yeah, it's a green pickle, not a black pickle. It's a green pickle holding a pickleball and a pickleball paddle. But I'm telling you, it's got over 600 reactions. Tons of people have commented and shared it. Like, if we could get people to react that way to the videos that we post, man, we'd be big shots.
That's right.
That's funny.
That's good stuff.
I do love that ornament, though.
Yeah. It is a nice ornament. Did you get that from Bronner's?
I did. Bronner's Christmas Wonderland. Do you guys remember that from your Michigan days, or did you never go over to the Frankenmuth area?
No,
Oh,
don't remember.
Frankenmuth. I was dying to go there.
You
It's
never
a little-
went?
No, we never
Yeah.
went. But I was dying. You remember? It's like
I
the
don't
little
remember.
German city.
Yeah. A little
Yeah,
Bavarian
it's-
village.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool. The
It's supposed to
chicken
be
there.
Really
it's-
cool.
Yeah.
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 I wanted to go
next
there.
year. I
Yeah.
mean, in the summer.
Yeah.
In the summer. Yeah.
You got to check it out. It is.
Yeah.
Frankenmuth is it's a very interesting area. It's really cool.
It
Yeah.
is.
It
Yeah, there's
does. It
nothing
feels like you're in
And
an
if-
old Bavarian town.
Yeah. And if you like Christmas, man, if you got to check out that Bronner's place, because that is seriously like a Christmas lover's paradise. It's crazy. I've
Isn't it
never
open
been anywhere like
364
it.
days a year?
Yeah, there's like only a few days a year
Nice.
that it's closed. I think
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and Easter, I think, are like the only days it's closed.
Wow.
It's
Cool. We'll have to
huge.
go there, even in the summer.
Yeah.
I'm a Christmas lover, big
Yeah.
time.
Are you?
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
You got to go there then.
That's really cool. Yeah, we got Christmas coming up in 20 days.
Nice.
Yep.
It's really
Yep.
soon.
We started listening to Christmas music
Did-
like 3 months ago.
Well, I'm sure as you guys noticed coming up to our house, we've had these decorations up now for about a week as well. So
Okay.
yeah, my wife gets in the Christmas decorating spirit as well.
Nice.
Nice. And Orlena, she's one of the ones that loved my the pickleball ornament post. She said, "Ha! I ordered a few." A whole bunch of people were
Nice.
asking where I got that thing from. I think I would love to know like how much sales went up for Bronner's on this ornament
you should
since
ask
my
for
post,
commission
because I'm
on
telling
that.
you, yeah, I guarantee
discount.
they've sold hundreds of them because of that post.
Yeah.
You really should reach out to him and ask, and
That's
not
very true.
You just ask him. Not even do it in a way of where you're looking for anything. Just ask like,
Right.
hey, did
Oh,
you
yeah.
notice that your sales had gone up? I'm curious to see if it converted. That would be interesting to find out.
Yeah, I would love to find out. Like you said, I have no
Yeah.
desire to like get anything out of it. I just am genuinely curious.
That would be, yeah. I bet you it did. I
Mhm.
really do think it probably helped.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Interesting. Do you guys have a tree set up?
Not yet.
We were talking about getting one, but we just haven't had really the time
No.
to get one. So maybe this weekend
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
have a
maybe
little
this
one,
weekend, yeah.
4 feet one. We're thinking,
We
and we're
were-
not sure. I think we want to get a real one, right? A real
Yeah.
one. Do you have a real
Um,
one?
No, we just have a
No?
little. We used to have this big one that we brought from Michigan because our house in Michigan had these like huge 20-some foot ceilings in our living room in the great room. And we brought it here with us, and like it wouldn't even fit in the box anymore, and the box was busting at the seams. So after Christmas last year, I packaged it up, we donated it, and then we ordered a new one because they're like 70% off right after Christmas. So we set up just a little
Nice.
6-footer, which is plenty. That's all we
That's
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, that's Florida. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but in Florida, well, you grew up here, but like people don't have stuff. Like they just, I don't know, it just everybody gets rid of their stuff when they move to this area for some reason, and so it's like nobody has anything in their house. It's just
It's because you don't have a basement to store it all in.
It's
Because you
true.
guys don't have basements, do you?
no basements. No, they'd be full of water.
So the pickleball ornament post is actually causing some controversy here. We've got Michelle Cook saying pickleball has nothing to do with a pickle. The name is silly, so adding a pickle makes it worse.
Oh, interesting.
But then Andre chimed in, and he's like, "Don't be a hater."
Typical
Hashtag Team Pickle. I think it's fun. I mean, I know it has nothing to do with a pickle, but I love that ornament. I think it's an awesome ornament.
Yeah, I think it's cool too. I mean, I agree. Like pickleball doesn't have anything to do with a pickle, but it's got the word pickle in the name, so you never know.
However, I do love to sip on some pickle juice, and I'll
Mhm.
chow down on some pickles after matches. So, I mean, I don't know. To me, it does. I include pickles in my pickleball playing.
That's right. That's right, Michelle.
Yeah.
That's cool. Anything else going on in social there, Webby?
That's about it for now. We've had tons of comments. I just showed pretty much the best of them. But man, this has been such a fun night. So
Yeah.
much interaction.
Yes.
This was great. I loved it.
Yeah, thank you guys out there in the social media land for all of your comments and questions. Thank you, Catherine and Athena, for coming to the Naples Eddie and Webby studio. As we always like to do with our guests, though, we'd like to give you guys an opportunity to be able to share with the thousands of people that are out there watching right now, maybe at millions, tournaments coming up, how people can follow you, just whatever's going on in your world that people would want to know about. Here's your opportunity to share it.
Perfect. So our next tournament is actually coming up soon. The end of December. We're gonna be playing in the Punta Gorda one. So about just 45 minutes north of, maybe not north of here. That's probably a little bit longer.
It's like
for
an hour
you.
from here,
Yeah, an hour for you. But 45 minutes for us. And we're looking forward to that. It's a pretty big tournament. A lot of good players are gonna be there playing. I'll be playing with Lindsay Newman and Adam Stone. And Athena is only gonna be playing mix with Colin Jones.
Oh, cool.
So that's we have some great partners, so looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's on the 28th, 29th, Saturday the 28th.
I'll be live streaming it
Awesome.
all 4 days.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And then if we make it to the finals are on Monday.
When?
When we make it. To the
When
finals.
Oh,
you make it to
good.
the
I like
finals.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we make it to the finals, it's gonna be on the 30th.
Yep.
And then we do not have much going on. Well, meaning tournament wise until February. I believe the next one I'm going out to Mesa in Arizona to play the first PPA tournament.
Yeah.
Athena is going to be here. I believe you're staying for that one, right?
Yep.
To be working. And then the following tournament after that is the one at Simoni's Academy at the Y. Which,
Florida Grand
that's
Slam.
Awesome. It's in our backyard almost,
Yeah.
right? 10, 15
It's your home
minutes away.
court.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, we
Right.
have an advantage.
Yeah.
Court
Yeah.
advantage. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the tournaments. I mean, we have a lot on our plate. We have a lot of our schedule for sure. We have a lot more coming up after that. I would say most of our tournaments are in the summer.
Yeah.
So we have maybe once or twice a month until April, and then I think in May that's when it starts to
Get a little crazy.
go down to
Yeah.
to have a lot more tournaments.
Mm.
So anyways, you can follow me on my Facebook page, Catherine with a C, and then I'm gonna spell my last name. Well, actually, they can see it right on the
Yeah,
podcast.
we'll throw a link below too.
Perfect.
For yep. Mhm.
And I also have a pickleball professional page as well on Facebook, and you can also follow me on Instagram. And I think, do you remember what my name? I believe it's CATH, and then my last name.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Yeah. And then obviously we have to thank our sponsors because they allow
Yes.
us to do everything that we do with all the traveling and being able to
Oh, for
plan
sure.
all the great experiences that we get to do. So we're both sponsored by Paddletek. Like I said, Brian, who is from our Paddletek family.
Webby and I are both huge Paddletek fans.
Yeah,
By the way, you can
love-
see two paddles
Yeah.
right
Yes.
over here.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love my Paddletek.
I keep looking at
Yeah,
that
total
Eddie and
total
Webby one.
fanboys.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah.
This is like a collector's item now because it's got the classic Paddletech
nice.
logo.
Oh,
Yeah.
look
But
at
that one too over there.
Yep.
I think
Right
Yeah.
there.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
So we want to thank Paddletek for sure. They help us out a lot. And we're also sponsored by a French-Canadian company. Catherine, wanted to be able to represent a French-Canadian company called PB Sport. So they sell like paddles from most of the companies. They also make pretty nice apparel. And they're mostly in Canada.
Okay.
But so want to thank them, give them a shout out. And there are a couple sponsors that we're going to be adding to our list. who
Okay.
We are not
Coming
going to
up.
Oh,
announce yet. That's going to be coming up.
building the suspense.
Yep.
Okay.
Building the suspense.
Cool.
And yeah, anything
I think you forgot.
else?
How can we follow you? You're just your
Oh
Facebook
yeah,
page.
just my
your
page,
Facebook
my Facebook page. Yeah, my first and last name is pretty easy to find. If you're friends with Catherine, you'll probably be able to find me. She tags me in all of the posts that she posts.
Basically.
Yeah.
We'll throw all that down in the description as well
Perfect.
for everybody out there. So
Okay.
definitely
Awesome.
check it
Perfect.
out.
Anything else we're missing?
Yes, we're missing. We haven't said thank you for Eddie and Webby to
Oh,
have
yeah.
us on the show. It's been
Yeah.
a really fun night. I mean, what? It's been 2 hours.
been
It
2
went
hours,
by.
I know.
I can't
Yeah.
believe it. It just feels
It
like
flew by.
we got
Yeah.
there. I mean, we
Yeah.
just got here. So it's been awesome, and thank you for having us. We've had a blast.
We know Eddie pretty well. We've met him a couple times,
Yep.
but this was our first time meeting Webby, and you did not disappoint, Webby.
Yes.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
No, it was awesome meeting you. We should definitely be thanking you guys. This was awesome. I mean, this was a very fun night.
Yeah, seriously.
Good.
Thank you guys
Yeah,
for
we
making the
enjoyed
trip
it.
down
Of
here.
course.
I know it's
Yeah.
not that far, but thank you for
Thank
coming
you
to
for
the
having
studio.
us.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, this was
I
great.
do want to say one more thing, though. I want to point out that Catherine was very smart to earlier this week. She was on the Eddie and Webby Wannabe podcast, No Smoke Pickleball show. It was a great way to prepare for being on the actual Eddie and Webby show. So that was very
Right.
smart of you. No, I'm,
Yeah.
just,
Thank you.
I'm just kidding. We love those guys. We love the No Smoke Pickleball show. Lauren and Kyle are good friends of ours.
What are the names?
But we do have
Lara and what's his name?
Ken?
Cam?
Laura,
Ken?
Laura and
Ken.
Keith.
Keith.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Or something.
Keith, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That's cool.
No, but we're fans of theirs. We're friends of
Yeah.
theirs. But we are going to have to get revenge for the video they recently put out there.
Which you
when they were at
participated in.
Nationals.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
innocent. I was
I'm-
not involved.
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, you're
You're-
still
you're the
still on my
real
good
one.
list.
I
Yeah.
still-
You're still on my good list. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, I hope I made it up tonight.
You did.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely want to thank you guys so much for coming down. Really, we appreciate it. I think it's just so cool. Oh, Lauren dropped the sloppy
Oh, no.
seconds.
Oh no.
Come on, Lauren.
Oh,
Come
on. Lauren. Jeez.
But you guys got a double.
Oh, that's true.
Lauren
You
got,
got
a
2
single.
for 1.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
And we treat our guest with beverages.
Yeah. I got
Yes.
an MIA Miami
That's
Vice.
right.
And
Yeah.
I got a mouton cadet.
Yeah.
Mouton cadet. I like
Nice.
that.
Yeah. What did
First class
Lauren
service.
Yeah.
What did Lauren and Kyle offer you guys? Like Bud Light or something? Or maybe some tap water?
There's been a delay with it's in the mail.
It's
maybe.
in
the mail? Yeah. Oh, Lauren.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. But no, seriously, guys, thank you again for coming down. We so appreciate it. This has been a blast. We love having guests on, and I thought it was really cool tonight that we got to like go deep a little bit, go below the surface, get to know you guys on a more personal level, which is hopefully you were comfortable sharing. But I think that was really cool, and that's honestly what I feel like a lot of people out there, they like to know more than just what it's like on the pickleball court. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Webby, this has been Podcast 56. Is there anything else that you want to be able to talk about before we wrap it up?
No, just that was an awesome show. Thank you guys very much for joining us. And super, super fun night. Loved it.
That's right. Well, as I said, this was episode number 56, which means there are 56 of you out there right now still watching. And guess what? We appreciate you. We love you to bits.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. And on that note, I'm Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
See ya.
Thank you, everyone.